everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing good. Now we are going to talk about introduction to pandas and let us start with the topic. So let us understand on our pandas concept, guys. Guys, why pandas is so famous nowadays and why people are preferring pandas? Because pandas, if you see other BI tools, take one example of Power BI, right? Power BI, it has like it was so famous. Even now also people are using in case of data scientists or data analyst roles. So when they are performing something, right, they have to follow few steps and few processes for getting the data, right? You have to write some queries, right? Then again, to get the data visualization, you have to understand pivot, you have to understand Excel concepts. So all those things are there as a sequential manner you have to understand. However, pandas library has so much of vast capabilities to handle everything in one platform. So I can say pandas is an open source library where which can be used for complete data manipulation and analysis. It has two really important data structures, which is nothing but a series and data frame, which will convert everything into a tabular structure or into a readable format, right? And why it is so why it is used more frequently, because it has this powerful and like I said, it has this data frame and series. And let us understand what is a data frame and series, and which will make sense more. So just understand this. This is one array, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 0. This is index, right? So when, again, this is a 1D array, right? So when we already understood from NumPy that this is your 1D array, right? And when we will say like this is your 2D, multi-dimensional array, like 3 cross 3 matrix or something, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this can be presented like in NumPy array like 3 cross 3, right? And we understood everything, correct? There. Now we will see how this 1D array is getting called or getting presented in pandas as a series. So this is called a series. So series means it's 1D array, and how it will be presented when it is converted is going to be converted and presented like this. So here only we'll be able to see 1, 0 and 0, 1, 2, 3 and here ellipse. This is your series. So series means only one column value, and for those values we will see different rows. And if you think more in a Excel, if you have seen Excel sheet, right? Excel sheet is something like this. There is a column like A, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. So if you see Excel, if you understand in terms of Excel, it is just a column. Single column is called as your series, and multiple columns is called your data frame. That's how you can remember. Single column is called a series. Multiple columns is called a data frame, which is nothing but a multi-dimensional array, right? Now we will understand how to import libraries. Okay, so if you don't have library installed in your system, right, you can get Anaconda. You can get Mini and Anaconda downloaded. In our first Python session I have shown you, and you can download it, and you can just that prompt which will load JupyterLab every time. There you can just write pip install pandas. If you have already installed pandas, it will not give you, it will not reinstall again. However, if pandas is not there, it will install it and it is going to tell you what is the version of it. And whenever we are installing these libraries, it will be installed on top of your, like on your C drive mostly, because it will take some memory of your RAM or CPU. So this is how I am able to, this is how I'm able to call my libraries, or I'm able to utilize my libraries, import my libraries, import pandas as PD, import numpy as NP. And again, guys, we have so many data handling capacities. Like I have already mentioned, in one platform, we have everything. What are the things which we have? We will understand. First, we can read and write data. It is not only able to read the data from different sources, we can write it to different sources. For example, if you read something, you want to write in a notepad or text file, you can do it. Even you can get some readable format and you can write it some other format, like you can write it to Word, you can write it to any other format available. Mostly we are using CSV format, Excel format and SQL format most of the times, right? Then we have something, data cleaning and preparation. So in your data set, when you are getting a table format, right, that is called a data set in terms of artificial intelligence. So that data set has various columns and rows, and in those various columns and rows, you will be finding NaN, null. So NaN is not a number, which is for integer, null value, right? Wherein we will consider string or object. We are calling, if most of the times if you see the type of those things, strings, it will be depicted as an object. So those objects, when you will see null and all those things, so it is very easier for us to clean that, and you can fill at the same time with the data. So it is not only you have to clean that, you have to fill the data with some value after cleaning. So all those things can be performed really well by pandas because of its ease of use. This is widely used nowadays, or in case of artificial intelligence field or artificial intelligence ground. We can manipulate data. Manipulate means, for example, if you want to get one particular row or some particular rows, you want to visualize the data, you can perform that. Like you can take one column and another column and you can visualize the data. You can put it in X and Y column. Similarly, if you want to join with another column, you can do it. You can group the data, right? At the same time, we can perform different manipulation operations on pandas library. Similarly, we have data visualization or analysis, like I've already said. Say pandas has this visualization techniques, that they have their visualization set kit. So with that, we can be able to visualize the data. We can compare different columns. We can compare their output with different other columns, right? Those kind of things we can perform really well with pandas. Now we will see how to initialize series and frame or data frame by different examples. So first example, what I am able to say here is how to create a series from a list, right? How to create a series from a list. So this is my list, guys. I have taken data list. So I have taken 10, 20, 30 and 40, and this is how I'm taking my how I'm initializing my series. So you can see, guys, make a note, Python is a case sensitive language. You have to be very careful, or maybe I can say you have to practice to remember this, or you have to be very careful while initializing any, you are using any methods or functions or data types or anything. It changes or it varies based on the requirement. So here you are using series. So in like if it will come down, you will see how to, like when we're reading the CSV, writing the CSV at the time, you should be able to see all small letters. So here we are seeing capital. Right? So you need to practice to get hold of this thing. So what I did, I have passed my list here and I am able to get it. Now we will see how to create a series from a NumPy array. So my NumPy array is this one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, NP dot array, right? And the same array, I can pass it through PD dot series. This is how you will initialize your series, guys, right? Then I'm printing my array, NumPy array. Then I am able to show you another example where I am getting a series from a dictionary. So like I've already mentioned, we have so much of capabilities to work with different kind of data structure. These are your different data structures which I'm showing you here, right? So you can see a dictionary is having a key and value pair always, right? So this is the key and value pair I have taken. And I have taken 3 elements here. And the same thing I can be able to get through series. So this is your series and I'm able to get my series. Now let us see another example. How to, even for any scalar values, right? You can be able to convert that to a series. So this is a single scalar. So a scalar value again means one value, right? One simple singular value. Then how to see if you want some repeated elements in your data set, and how to do it? You can get that value, and same thing can be get by index. Like you have one index keyword, and that index keyword you can assign and you can give like this. So this is your index explicitly, guys. So by default, your index, you will see the output here. The first example, you will see these are your by default indexes 0, 1, 2, 3. By default system, or by default your system is giving you those indexes. If you want to overlap with those indexes, you can do like this. Explicitly, you can get your index like this, right? Then again, one more example, I have shown you how to give your custom index. And again, everything is a list here, right, guys, by default. So I have taken a list, and the same thing I am passing it here. And I'm getting the output. Now let us see one after another. So this first example is a list, right? And it is giving me the data type in 64. The second one is your NumPy array, and this is giving me the, just understand, just visualize it, how it gives the output, right? This gives the output in a tabular format, and like I've already told you, when we will tell about a series, it is just a single column value. And these all are a single column value. You can see here this example, the index changed here, right? It is not a default index now. Even here, my index changed to XYG, right? It is not a default index. So this is how my series can be initialized. Now we will see how to initialize your data frame. So the first example, what is this? My data frame I can create from a dictionary of lists or arrays, right? So this is my dictionary, and when you will see curly brace, right? Right, my dictionary I have taken. When you are seeing curly brace, that is a dictionary. I have already told you, I have already explained you. So I have taken name, age and city. So these are my keys and these are my value pair, and my value is a list here, right? Right? So the same thing, I can see how I am presenting my data frame here. My data frame is getting presented with pd.dataframe. This is how I am initializing my data frame. So you can see my D and F is capital here. pd.dataframe. And you can pass this data and it will give you my output. So this is how a tabular structure looks like, right? Even in Excel. Just imagine in that way. Then we have again something called list of lists. How to initialize the data frame from list of lists. So this is one list. Inside that list, I have nested list, right? One row, another row, and third row. And do you see any header here? So when we are telling dictionary, right? I have a header. By default, my key is becoming a header here, right? However, when we are coming to list here, are we seeing any columns or headers here? No, right? Like header means whenever we are seeing in Excel, there will be one name on top of that column, right? So that is your header. So that same header can be initialized by this columns equal to name, age and city. So in series, what we saw? In series, we saw that we can manipulate with the index by giving a index explicitly. Here, the columns can be provided like this, or you can manipulate with the columns like this. If you want to change even in a real data sets which you are getting to work, if you want to change some, modify some columns, because sometimes the columns are very lengthy, you want to convert it to some other column names. So this is how we can do it. You can explicitly change the column names, right? And it will change. This is how. See, we got name, age and city as a header, then all the output I am getting, correct? Similarly, I have another example which shows from a list of dictionary. Again, we saw that dictionary of lists, and now we will see a list of dictionary, right? So here I have taken different key and value pair, and this we have seen these examples, right, in our day-to-day examples where I am seeing my employee data can be presented like this, right? Student data can be presented like this. So here I have taken like this all the parameters, and the same thing I am passing it inside data frame. Do we need any header here? We don't need, because we already have key. Those keys are becoming my header here, right? Now we will see from NumPy array how to get data frame. So this is your NumPy array. It's the 3x3 matrix, right? The same thing. If you visualize it, it is getting presented like this. And do we have a header? We don't have header. So I want my headers. Will remove it also, it will give me the output like this. By default, it is taking 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. When indexes, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Right? So by default, it will give. So if I keep like this, it will just suppress that to column A, column B, and column C. And this is how my header we can change. Like I've already explained you in before example. Then we have one important concept, which is really we have to do it throughout our artificial intelligence journey. So we have to read data from CSV, and I will explain in our upcoming videos more deeper way. But right now we will see how to get the CSV to your Colab and how to read it. So if you see, guys, if you load your Google Colab, even in Jupyter Lab, I will show you in our upcoming videos, because most of the times we are going to either work on Colab or Jupyter Lab. So here if you see, if you load your Colab, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in your fifth tab, I am hovering my mouse. If you see, there is a files tab, okay? You need to click on that, and if you see files, right, as a heading, what are the components available there? We have upload, then this is refresh, and this is drive, and this is the show hidden files. Okay? We don't need to worry about these three other options, but how to load your files here and how can we load directly those files to our Colab, I am going to tell you that. So you can see how to do it. You just need to go and upload. You can keep whatever needed files to one folder, and you need to redirect to that folder. Like you can see I have already loaded all those 3 files which I need to work. So whenever you start working on anything, before starting, you can load those files and you can keep everything ready. So it will be easier for you to pass those files throughout your work, right? And you can see I have loaded CSV file, JSON file, and XLSX file. So this is how we can load. And with this approach, what will be happening, right? My Colab will read the file directly. So you can see I have taken .read underscore CSV. This is how I can read underscore CSV. And I have passed my CSV file directly here. You can see student.csv. And I am able to get all my output here. Like whatever the data present in my CSV file, I'm able to see everything here, right? And how to read data from your Excel file. So you can see I have already loaded my Excel file, right? XLSX file. So the same thing, I am passing it here, but this time what is the method? Read underscore Excel. Read underscore Excel, and I should be able to get my output like this, right? Then we have again, when you will work on Excel, guys, most of the times you are getting CSV or SQL or DB format data. But when you will work with Excel, there are so many other options I have given here, and I have just commented it out. I don't want to try it out right now. Just for your reference, I have kept it. For example, if you want, see in a Excel, right, when you'll get, there are so many sheets, right? You might have seen in Excel, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, like that you will be able to get. You want to read a particular sheet from that Excel, so this is how you can do it. Read Excel, and you can pass the sheet name. Single sheet you want to read, then you can do it. Then if you want to read a particular line of that sheet, then you can just do like this, sheet name equal to 0. Then if you want to read multiple sheets, this is how you can pass. Like if you want particular, like you have 100 sheets in Excel, if you want to read 2-3 sheets, this is how you can pass sheet name, and you can pass the list of sheet name, list of sheets name, right? Similarly, if you want to read all sheets, this is a by default example, sheet name none, or the same thing is this one, like this. So by default, it will read all sheets. This read underscore Excel and everything, like student.xlsx. Then we have something called JSON. So how to read data from JSON? JSON is a very important and a very powerful object of JavaScript, guys. So when we're saying JSON, that is nothing but JavaScript object notation. So how my data is getting presented? So when we will tell about web, right? Anything related to web application, web service, anything. Those, the better readable method of data is JSON only, and most of the times XML. But JSON is the readable format any web likes to do. And how it is getting presented, my JSON data, let's see that. You can see, guys, I have, this is like all JSON format data will be always presented in a, you can see, in a dictionary format. So you can see each ID, then class and everything is presented in a single dictionary. So you can see one like this, right? This is one dictionary, this is another dictionary, right? So, and that is presented inside a complete list. So I can say it's a list of dictionaries, JSON object. And the same thing I can read like this, read underscore JSON, and I should be able to get my data in this format. So with this, we understood on how to load data, how to get my data frame, and how to get my series from different kind of data structures. Well, that is all for now. We will understand further pandas topics in our upcoming videos. Till that time, see you. Start subscribing, like, share your comments, share your feedback if you like the content. And till that time, see you. Bye.